So there's just an active shooter at the school where my daughter teaches children how to read.
It's the first day back in Iowa, and there's a mass shooting. Kids are going back to school. It's after Christmas. And again, because of the 2A loving people in the United States, at least 10 kids are injured. I don't know how many are dead. There's been a call for blood throughout the state of Iowa. If you can donate blood, please do so, because they're going to need it. How many more children? How many children are going to have to fucking die? This man who's holding his animal and thinking about his daughter. In the year 2000, Barry Grunow was teaching at Christy McAuliffe Middle School, named after the teacher who died in the Challenger explosion. No, sorry, he didn't work there. He worked at Lake Worth Middle School. Barry Grunow worked at Lake Worth Middle School. I'm sorry, it's been 23 years. I'm trying to pull it out of my head. And he was killed by Nathaniel Brazil on the last day of school. Nathaniel had been thrown out of school for throwing water balloons. He was in the 8th grade. He came back with his grandfather's gun and shot a teacher. That was 23 years ago. We had over 700 mass shootings last year. That's more than double the days. And here we are 4 days into New Year, and there are 10 people at least hurt. I don't know how many are going to die over senseless gun violence, yet again. And this man is concerned about his daughter, as he should be. She didn't sign up for that. She signed up to teach reading to children, not be in a war zone. You wonder why there's 7,000 teachers missing in the state of Florida. It's not just the pay, and it's not just Ron DeSantis. Those are big parts of it too. But, like the state of Virginia, when a teacher was shot, basically said, you should expect to get shot. No, that's not normal. The preponderance of guns is not normal. The amount of children dying and having post-traumatic stress is not normal. There's a poem that I have on this app written by a child in Texas. She was 11 or 12. And you can tell by the handwriting it's written by a child. And she's talking about the experience of surviving an active shooter. These children are in the center of Iowa, which is a red state. So you know what they don't have a lot of? Services. See, when you have a state income tax, you can pay for services. They'll give you psychologists, Medicaid, Medicare, additional money for food. But Iowa doesn't have that. They're a red state. They're in deep trouble. There are not going to be adequate psychologists. There are not going to be adequate doctors. Because Iowa is yet another one of those states where women's rights are being eroded. Doctors are leaving there. It's not just OBGYNs. It's other doctors too. So much of me wants to say you reap what you sow, but it's wrong. It's just wrong. I don't know how to process this anymore. It's like they're saying there are 30,000 people that died in Palestine. That number's too large. It's hard to wrap your mind around. Which is one of the reasons why you have Stalin's great quote, 1 death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic. 700 active shooters last year. Multiple people getting killed. School shooting, aplenty. I just did a video yesterday on what to prepare for to keep your children safe. I was hoping that it was going to be months before someone fucking shot up a school. Well, I was wrong. United States citizens, why are we allowing this to transpire? Why are we allowing people to say thoughts and prayers and then do nothing about it? I started my journey into education in 1993. I had graduated college, I was a substitute teacher in New York City, and I was getting paid $110 a day to sub. It was combat pay. I was in the South Bronx. I wasn't concerned about guns. I'm going back in this year. I'm very concerned about guns. How are these children that survived going to recover? This is going to be with them for the rest of their lives. If you've taken a psychology class, you know about survivor guilt. Every single kid that does not die, if one does, is going to have that. That's trauma that doesn't go away. It just doesn't go away. We have to do better for our youth. We have to do better for our society. There is a preponderance of guns, and it's extremely easy to get those guns. And people that are not rational are getting their hands on firearms all the time. Gavin Newsom called for the 28th Amendment. I think it's a reasonable decision. Please support that. Please talk to your friends. Please vote. And if you're in Florida, please check your registration. Because Ron DeSantis took over 1 million people off the voter rolls, and 700,000 of those were Democrats. Please talk to your teachers of your children so you are aware of the plans they have for keeping your children safe. Trust me when I say that you do not want to be like the parents outside of the school in Uvalde. You can either be reactive or proactive. And with active shooters, it is better to be proactive. It is better to practice 3,000 times and never have to do it than never practice once and be in that situation. This is another problem with the GOP not funding education. There are substitute teachers teaching your children throughout the state of Florida. They're not licensed, but they're there, and their body's trying to hold against the stem of children, because Ron DeSantis and the supermajority in the state of Florida will not fund education, just like they're trying to do in Texas. They want a voucher program to steal money from public schools and put it into corporations' hands so they can make money. It's repugnant, and part of that reason is the reason why we're having dead kids. It's all together. Please remember to vote responsibly. Please remember to speak to your teachers about their plans to defend your child against an active shooter. And if you're not happy with their plans, fix them. Find out what works. Do the research. My kid's not in a classroom. I'm not in a classroom. Your children are. Make sure they stay alive.